All right, folks. Let's put an end once and for all to this fear talk with Master Bob Proctor. What's up, guys? I'm Bob Proctor, man. Been in the game of giving speeches, consulting, and training people for a long time now, like over 57 years already. And you know what's the question I get asked the most every single day? How do I get rid of this fear once and for all? Yeah, it's like that doubt most people don't know how to answer for real. But the answer, man, it's pretty clear. First things first, check this out, you can't want to get rid of all fear, nope. Sometimes, fear is even useful, dude. It warns you, you know? Like, makes you think twice before doing something stupid, like jumping off a cliff without knowing what's down there. Fear, alright, it's healthy, man. It's just that the thing is we need to understand it comes from lack of knowledge. That's right, pure and simple. You find a lot of people wanting to start their own business, stuck in a job they don't like, or with a dream in their heads, but then fear hits, you know? They get that fear, that hesitation to take the next step and make things happen. And that, man, it's terrible. Like, I've been through it myself. I had a job, a dream, but I was terrified of leaving everything behind. I worked in the fire department, and nobody left there for ages. Nobody could fire you, you know? So, when I decided to leave, it was intense. I was genuinely scared. But then I talked to a mentor, man, and he made me realize something. I've studied a lot about this over the years, dude. Let me show you something here. This big circle represents your mind, you know? The top part is your conscious mind, where you have control, where you can think about anything. And the bottom part is your subconscious mind, which doesn't have a choice, doesn't think, just accepts what you send to it. And what you send to it is what will influence this smaller circle, which represents your body. How we act, how our body moves, it's like an expression of what's going on in the mind, mainly in the subconscious part at the base. Ignorance has an opposite, which is knowledge, you know? Knowledge is like information. Some people spend their lives in ignorance and some don't. I spent a long time in ignorance, and when I started studying, everything changed for me. There's a guy named Solomon who once said, if you want something, seek understanding. So, get that, man. There's an energy that flows to our mind, which never stops. It comes to us and passes through us. You can even photograph this energy leaving our body, seriously. There was a Russian photographer named Semyon Kurlyan who, back in 1934, figured out how to photograph this energy leaving a person. He photographed something called the aura, the actual energy. So, let me show you the scheme here. We say the top part is where we think, and the subconscious mind is kind of programmed, man. It's the paradigm. It's a bunch of information we send there and gets recorded in the subconscious mind. It's the habits that control much of our way of being. The conscious mind can take control. The problem is it rarely does. Most people are controlled by their paradigm, you get me? And that's why there are people who are super smart, know everything, but the results don't match because they're stuck. Can't get a job. And the truth is, they're super smart, but that's another story. The conscious mind has this thing of choice, you know? But what do most people do? They see a situation they don't know how to solve, and they start freaking out right away. Will I have enough money? Will I be able to handle this? Worry and doubt both mess with your head. They're like diseases of the mind, waste raw energy, the same energy we talked about flowing into our consciousness. We could do anything with this energy, but we're in doubt, in worry. Because we let the outside world control our thoughts, and that's the biggest trap. When you build an idea, if it's a negative idea and you send it to the subconscious mind, it creates something called fear. And that's what people want to eliminate, right? But let me explain it to you now, man. This is just the condensed version. We deal with all this in more depth in our company, you know? So you not only eliminate fear, but also learn to make things happen in style. Just think about what's going on here. There's an energy coming to our consciousness, man. You choose what you want to build. If you build a negative idea, full of doubts and worries, you're focused on this, because the subconscious is like your emotional mind. Everything you send there has to be expressed and often manifests in the physical body as anxiety. Most people deal with anxiety with booze or other stuff, but don't understand the cause of anxiety. And keeping that anxiety inside can turn into depression. There was a guy named Sinclair Lewis who once said, "We don't die, we kill ourselves." This illness becomes a serious thing. Some people might say, "Come on, you oversimplified it." Our problem is that we don't understand ourselves. We don't get how the mind works in relation to the body and the outside world. But we can change that. We can swap blind faith for faith based on understanding. Blind faith is worth nothing. When blind faith is tested, it often goes wrong. Faith and fear are two interesting things. Both require you to believe in something you can't see. There's a lot of energy coming into our consciousness. We have this ability to think about anything. The paradigm, the subconscious, doesn't have the ability to refuse anything. We can't do anything about it. There's no choice. The opposite of doubt and worry is understanding. Solomon was talking about this ages ago. In all that you seek, seek understanding. The only way to develop that understanding is through study. If you don't study, you won't get it. When we start to understand ourselves, our world changes, man. Before I started studying, I was stuck in a job I didn't like, broke, depressed. Nowadays, I'm good, happy, chillin'. Let's join our seminars, man. That's what you need. That's what you need to understand. There are several ways to study. You can study with books, but sometimes you need someone to explain things to you. Faith manifests as well-being, while anxiety is the opposite of that, fear. Faith is what makes people feel good, you know. You see people walking down the street with a smile on their face, saying hi to everyone. Things are cool for them because they're tuned into what's going on. Everyone can live like this. You have a choice, man. You can do it one way or another. Which one will it be? Don't want to live in fear and anxiety anymore? Then, let's choose the other way.